This is the Big O Show. 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 This is the Big O Show.
There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
When you move, you need a reliable company led by passionate folks eager to assist its customers during a transitional process that needs to be smooth. Call Essential Moving Experts at 844-368-5750 for all your local and long-distance moving needs. You can rely on Essential Moving Experts. Mention the Big O Radio Show and get $150 off. Family owned and operated. They offer free 30-day storage, full service moving, fully licensed, bonded, and insured. Moving was never so easy. EssentialMovingExperts.com.
Oh, great. You got a doorbell camera. Now you got a front row seat to your house getting robbed.
No.
And there's nothing you can do about it.
Get out of my house!
Ooh, Mom's jewelry. There goes the TV. I'm sure it'll turn up at the pawn shop.
No!
Just because you can see them, that doesn't mean you can stop them. With Sloan's, you get 24-hour monitoring, a free home security system, and professional installation. Plus, a free doorbell camera.
Free?
One that'll actually work for you. It's not total security unless it's the Sloan Shield. Call 1-800-ALARM-ME.
With more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes, Welton Rayum is committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. At Welton Rayum, they don't get paid unless you win. They handle complex personal injury claims caused by the fault of another in both state and federal courts. They handle auto, trucking, motorcycle, slip and fall, and bicycle accidents. Call 954-966-4646. That's 954-966-4646. Welton Rayum can help.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
The viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyAccess.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. It's time for Dolphins football. Welcome to the EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins pregame show on the Sports Talk 305 network. The show is mastered by Sean Stanley and Chad Shobe. EJDconstruction.com is a fully insured liability and workers' comp. Call Eric if you need a custom home builder or general contractor. 305-433-4843. Here's your host, the Big O.
Boomsticks. There we go. Little boomsticks. Got these at the Panthers game on Monday. Yeah, a little Baptist Health. Proud sponsor of our show, actually. A little boom. We're gonna lay the boom on the Jets today. Oh wow. I knocked poor Alarmo down there. Alarmo's like, yo, what the hell, bro? Anyway, so we got the boom going. Welcome aboard, boys and girls. You feeling good? I'm feeling good, bro. Not because Bitcoin crossed 38,000 and Star Atlas is riding and Jasmine and Avalanche and I'm just loving life, you know. It's not so much about the crypto bull run that's going on now and what's about to happen. No. That has me in a normal good mood now lately. You know, after surviving that bear market for 2 years. But I feel good today, man. I feel good. And we're gonna talk about something today on the pregame show that nobody is talking about. Like always, we usually either break news that nobody's talking about or give you an angle that nobody's looking at or some kind of thing. We'll tell you why this game is actually like super important. And it has nothing to do with, of course, it's the Jets and those of us that are Dolphins fans, we want to see the Dolphins kick the Jets' ass. That's automatic. Patriots, Bills, every time they face any team, but especially the teams in the division. We all know that. Oh, it's an AFC game. No, there's like way more important issue in why this game is so important, and I'll get to it, and we'll talk about that. David Furones is going to stop by with our Welt and Rayom Miami Dolphins report. He's joining us twice because this was kind of a screwy week. So what we did is instead we kind of made his reports twice as in our pregame, and he's going to join us after the inactives. So we'll know what the inactives are, and then David and I can go over the reaction. The A-Chain one was not breaking news, dude. Come on, bro. I mean, we talked about it on the show. He wasn't going to play. There's the path that they've got. Okay, so the guy was out for a month. He comes back. He can't stay in a game. You're going to bring him back? Come on, man. What are we, stupid or something? So I know Tom Pelissero broke the news to make it like official, but common sense, okay, told you that he wasn't going to play this week the way they pace the players now, they don't really push it. There was no way that A-Chain was going to play. But what this tells you, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, is that I guarantee you Chris Brooks is coming back. And one of the themes we talked about in the offseason, we were ahead of most, is we told you, right, that this year that they would run more, and we told you that they're going to keep a fifth back. And they need it. It's just to find a guy to stay healthy all year long. It's just brutal. In this game, Mostert is in this game with an ankle and knee injury. So he's dealing with, getting banged up already as it is. And a bunch of these guys are banged up. And Chris Brooks got hurt. He was out. So it guarantees you that you're going to bring back Chris Brooks because you need all five. You basically have to have that kind of depth at running back. And this is why you don't put all your eggs in one basket and you overpay for guys, because what you need to do is be able to scout and find guys that fit your system, but you don't have to necessarily spend a world of money on all of them. You can break it up piecemeal and give them all a little cut of the pie. And what you would have paid Dalvin Cook, like with the Jets, the team today, is doing, you're paying all of your backs less money. All of five of your backs aren't getting paid what Dalvin Cook is getting paid combined. That's how you do it. And you get production out of it. So Chris Brooks for sure is going to come back. And he helps out he's actually the most versatile running back out of all of the that's the screwed up part as a rookie, because his blocking was awesome already as a rookie. And then he was helping you out on special teams. And he's a running back, and he brings a little punch to it on short yardage. So he helps out in many different ways. And as you can see, guys can't stay healthy. That's one thing we've learned, that when the coach was talking about Chris Brooks, because we were wondering, is Chris Brooks' season over? Well, we've watched 10 games in. You need a lot of running backs. You're going to need Chris Brooks. So make sure you keep him. So we got a lot of things to talk about on a Black Friday. I'm sure some of you are probably driving around, trying to shop. Some of you are watching the Canes game, which didn't start off well, but they bounced back to their credit. And I believe they still lead 14-7 unless Boston College has gone on to score. I was watching the game while I was preparing, but I would imagine that Miami is still up 14-7. And we'll see. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, that's right. We don't get the first page anymore. I have to hit ACC. Yes, it is 14-7. So there you go. At least the Canes are leading right now. And BC does have the ball. Okay. So they are in the BC 31. Okay. There you go. I unfortunately, I had to do it. I took BC plus 9.5. It's not that I'm rooting against the Canes. I think the Canes can win the game. I just have a hard time believing they're going to win by 10 points. Just had to do it. Had to do it. Can't do it. Can't let it go, man. So I thank the Hard Rock app for that one. Yesterday, my God. Wow, that was not competitive at all yesterday. That was bad to watch. Thank the Lord that we have family and we have friends and we have food. Okay, because I was looking forward to that turkey, because the old lady, she makes a really good turkey. Okay. In fact, when I get off the air here, I want to have some second helpings here while I'm watching the Dolphins kick the Jets' ass here. So I'm hoping that's the case. So at 1:00, eat a little bit more food and enjoy myself. I hope you all enjoyed yourselves, and I really hope that you guys enjoyed yourselves because the games were terrible. I mean, to the Packers' credit, they took off early on, and I thought Detroit would come back and make it a game, and I know that the score ended up deceiving 29-22 with the Lions getting that back end score, but it was just never a game. Never a game. Now, I'm sure Brian Flores was like standing around having some fun and cheering on, right? Because he was watching Jordan Love. Now, I had a little fun yesterday. Jordan Love balling, and I put a picture of Brian Flores, like, on the sidelines, like celebrating, because we all know the story. He wanted Jordan Love over Tua, and Jordan's played well the last two games, okay, to his credit. He's still far from even if he's the answer, but give the kid credit. He passed for 68.8% yesterday, completion percentage, 268, 3 touchdowns, 22 of 32. On the season, he's 225 of 372 for 2,600 yards, 60% completion percentage, 19 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, 22 sacks. Not necessarily super impressive stats. Nothing terrible, but 19 and 10 is not impressive, and 60% completion percentage is not good enough and all that. But his last two games, to his credit, okay, he passed against the Chargers and the Lions. Last week against the Chargers, he was 27 of 40 for 322, 2 touchdowns, 67% completion percentage. So 67 and 68 the last 2 weeks. Now, the Chargers are 32nd against the pass, allowing 291 yards. The Lions are 17th against the pass, allowing 227, so they're middle of the pack. TDs allowed. Detroit is 29th in the NFL with 19. The Chargers are 23rd with 16. Interceptions, the Chargers are 25th in the NFL with 6. Lions are middle of the pack, 17th with 8. So he wasn't facing great defenses, pass defenses. So, calm down. Like because some guy goes, well, maybe Jordan Love could end up becoming the guy. And I'm like, relax, dude. He's played all right, but look at the whole picture and see what's going on. And we'll see. Maybe this is the start of the kid kind of turning his career around. We'll find out. But he hasn't played great pass defenses. So that was the case yesterday. Cowboys rout the Commanders. That place is a mess. They fired Jack Del Rio. I got to tell you something. They get routed 45-10. Heated discussions, owner, whatever. Jack Del Rio doesn't take a lot of shit. I could see Jack Del Rio going, so you trade my 2 best pass rushers, right? This team's a disaster. The offense can barely score, and you're blaming me? All right, everybody's going to get blown out of there. Ron Rivera, Riverboat Ron, that ship is sinking in the river right now because, they're going to fire him. The new owners are going to get their own people and all that stuff. It's all being set up. It's kind of like watching Larry Fink and BlackRock, and ARK Investments and all these folks buy large portions of Coinbase. And then Larry Fink has so much influence on our government that they go and team up together and get Binance right the hell out so they can take over and become, the crypto-centric. Since, they see their banking dying, they better get on a crypto, that kind of stuff. So that's kind of what I'm seeing happening in that financial world is kind of what I'm seeing happen right there. Before we're all watching, and you don't watch this financial stuff like I do, but you're watching the obvious stuff, the football stuff, and you're cleaning out salaries, you're firing coaches, what's coming. Ron Rivera is basically a chaperone for the rest of the season. He's going to get fired at the end. And that wasn't a game yesterday. And then the Niners dominated the Seahawks. Geno Smith was a really nice story. He can only do so much. Brock Purdy, just give him the love, bro. Give the guy the love. He is accurate. He makes decisions quickly. Yes, he has talent around him, but you still have to make the plays. And I'll put it this way. For those of you out there, because, I have my trepidations of giving Brock Purdy the love and looking around what he has and all that. But I was thinking about this, and I'll put it out there to you guys. A couple years ago, there's a play. Sanders is streaking down the middle of the field, and he's wide open. And if Jimmy Garoppolo hits him, San Francisco wins a title probably. Jimmy Garoppolo is viewed completely differently. That same throw. I'm not asking Mahomes. I'm not asking a healthy Aaron Rodgers. Okay? I'm not asking for any good quarterback right now or whatever. I'm telling you, if Brock Purdy was the quarterback at that moment from what you've seen in a year and a half of watching the kid, if Brock Purdy is put in the same position, does he not make that throw? Right? So he's doesn't run like the wind. He doesn't have a rocket of an arm. Okay? But it's what I tell you. If you have intelligence and you can decipher the defense quickly and you know exactly where it's going to be open already, because that's what the great quarterbacks look at the coverage. They know the play called. They see the routes being run in their head before it happens, right? They're already, what's that called? Not previewing, but foreseeing. He's already imagining his guys running routes against the coverages they have, and he knows precisely the route that's going to be open. And Brock Purdy, just like Tua, has that gift. And then he's accurate. And he has timing. And he knows how to deliver the ball. And you just have to give the young man the credit. You got to make the plays in the end. And we've watched quarterbacks over the years. What is Dak Prescott's knock? He could do all he wants in the regular season. None of this means anything to me with Dak Prescott. Until he does it in big moments in the postseason, none of it means anything. Because you got to be clutch. You got to be able to do it in key moments. And there's lots of guys in the league that have played with talent, and they couldn't lift the talent over the top. And then somebody else comes in and gets it done, right? Drew Bledsoe was always that guy that could only get you to a certain point. And then eventually somebody popped him in the rib, and then some guy came in who had less talent than him but knew how to finish the plays. Ooh, it's fresh. It's hot, piping hot. I don't know if you guys can see the smoke. Doubt it. Let's see. No, I don't know. Any smoke billowing? Can you see it? Can you see now? A little bit of a delay. No, you can't tell. You can't tell the smoke is billowing. You can't. But it is. It's like Iceland right now. It is, the lava is billowing. Did you guys see that city in Iceland that they had to evacuate the entire city because it's being split in half? Cracks all over. There's like lava running under the city and shit like that. It's crazy. The life we live on tectonic plates. Let's see. What do we have here? Jamie Zorrilla, by the way, in San Jose, number 1. Jamie says, I expect this to be a muddy grind game for the first half. Open it up in the second half. There we go. Just buy more dong, says Go Bills. Ronnie Katz is in the house. Josh in. Gus 1388. Jeff from Long Island going into the stadium now. My wife Sharon got me and my son Jansen great tickets, section 104. I'll DM you pics and videos. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you. Much love, my brother. Hoko Tube. No excuse. Finns beat better than the Jets. That's right. And we'll get to that. Joseph says, Big O, how about them Canes? Right now it's 20. They just scored, so I guess we are awaiting the extra point. Let's see. Yes, sir. Tyler Van Dyke passed to Kobe Young for 10 yards. So they have scored their second touchdown. I like it. Now, again, 4 quarters. They got to keep it up. We'll see. Coaching can screw this up really easy. So we'll see. Not going to get too crazy about the Canes yet. Billy Shaw is in the house. Lisa Rose. Think Blue Dodgers. Rock Bear checking in from Southwest England. Come on, Miami. Take out those stinking Jets. Damn right, Rock Bear. Steven Gonzalez, man of 1,005 holds. True Fin fan. John Padilla. Let's see. You knocked down the Alarmo. I know. My bad. Sorry, Alarmo. James Vivinetti, very simple today. We don't turn it over. We win. We are the better team. That's pretty much it. True Fit Fan, thank you for the love on the super chat. My all-time favorite show, Realist in the Biz. Thank you. That's very, very nice of you, my man. Very nice of you. That is super cool and super classy. Thank you, sir. Chad, Mike Lombardo, Jason Montelongo. How come I forgot about Chris Brooks? How can you forget about Chris Brooks? What is wrong with you, Jason? Joseph, loving that classic Fins hat. Well, hey, it's all we wear. You never see me wear the new logo. I hate the new logo. I can't stand the freaking new logo. You can give me anything you want with the new logo on it. I'll never wear it. I'll give it away. I'll gift it out to somebody else. Cap for life. Magic Mark. I think this game is going to be tougher, closer than we think. The Jets have a legit defense. It's their offense that's a mess. Plus, there's no tape on the new QB, so we don't know what to expect. You don't, but I watch the league. Tim Boyle sucks. Tim Boyle is terrible. We'll get into that. Cap for life. Jeff Pesme. Miami Dolphin content. Says, I just crushed some leftovers. Yeah. Crema de Clutch Exotic says, hey-oh, hope you and everybody had a great Thanksgiving. They need to use a Chan like Reggie Bush. Quick passes, screens, and open space. Limit to single-digit carries per game unless it's playoffs. I kind of heard that it was going to be a 5 to 10 carry type of thing. And I think it became a drug. And, here's where, Crema de la Clutch Exotics, here's where you and I can't be hypocrites, okay? Because you gave us the A-Chain wine, and we were guzzling and give me more. And, oh, my God, he's averaging 11 yards a carry. And then he wore down. And so in the moment, we weren't thinking that. We were thinking, wow, this kid's pretty special. And he is. But they kind of ran him a little bit into the ground. And look, he was out for a month. And you brought him right back, and he wasn't able to finish the day out. Yeah, he couldn't even last a quarter. You have to be careful with this. Now we have all learned our lesson, and from the rumblings I heard from the building after the draft, they were going to use him like that. And go back and it's all on video, dude. I don't bullshit you guys in any way, sense, or shape or form. Go back and listen to the shows right after the draft. You'll hear me say 5 to 10 carries. Because those are the rumblings I heard that, he was going to be complimentary to Mostert. And you're right. That's where they have to go back to him being more complimentary than featured. You are correct. So hopefully in the next couple of weeks when he gets back, I don't know if it's next week or the week after, we won't see him today. But yeah, you got to pace him a little bit more, no doubt. Nyborg is in. The only thing that disappoints me yesterday more than those 3 games was hearing songs from my youth and perfume commercials. Yeah. By the way, who the hell puts Jack Harlow on for a halftime show? Like, what the F, dude? Like, what the F? Is that what you kids are listening to? That shit? I know that whole crap with Tyler and all that, but he's not good. My God. The rap that these kids listen to nowadays, I'm sorry to be the old man on the lawn, but there's such mediocre rap out there. It's truly amazing to me. Jack freaking Harlow is a halftime show. Wow. And look, I'm not into the whole, it's nice, the whole Dolly Parton thing, but she's a legend. Jolene is like, a 9 to 5 or whatever. And I get it. It's skewed to an older crowd and all that, but that's a Hall of Famer. So that's cool. You know what I'm saying? It's not like I'm clamoring for a Dolly Parton halftime show. Yeah, for me, that's my halftime show. Okay? That's my halftime show. All right? Give me Hetfield and the boys for halftime. That's a halftime show. That's how I want to rock with football. You know what I'm saying? But Jack Harlow. That's just a highway full of potholes. Seeing Mike White relieving Tua after Jets garbage points. That would be nice. Geno Smith is a Jag. He's made himself a little bit better than that. He's got himself to average. I think so. Used to be below average. I think he's got himself to being just an average QB. Nothing special, but yeah. Give the guy some love, dude. He's made himself better than that. He's just not ever going to carry a team. And if you fall behind, don't expect him to bring you back a bunch. And, it's that team is also kind of limited on the offensive line. So, yeah. Big O, do you think the Jets offense will play for pride and try every trick play in the book? No, I don't. I don't think they're good enough to try anything. I don't think they can be trusted. Alan Lazard is inactive today. Sources say Mekhi Becton will be inactive. Well, Mekhi Becton, I'm expecting him to be inactive. And here's the thing. Can we stop with this? I don't give a shit if he plays. Who's Mekhi Becton? What's he done even when he plays? He's nothing special. I don't care if he plays or he doesn't. I know that I don't think they've announced the inactives yet, have they? Because I don't think I've seen them come across. Now, of course, I'm doing a show and I could easily miss it. And I know Sean is always on top of that during these shows with the inactives. But I wouldn't be surprised if Mekhi Becton is inactive. But can we sit down around the campfire and let's have an honest conversation? Who gives a shit if he plays or not? I hope he plays. His broken ass won't be able to stay with any of our guys on the edges. I don't care. big, stiff-ass dude on stilts. Get the hell out of here. That's the problem with that. It's like we're making it sound like Mekhi Becton is something. He's never accomplished anything yet. He can't even stay healthy to accomplish anything. Magic Mark, just hit the like button, people. We gotta stay united as sports fans, but more importantly, life in general, too. Too much hate in the world. Stand up for what's right. Exactly. Together, baby. Together. Don't let them split you apart. That's all they're doing. All they're creating is stuff to separate us, which is bullshit. 4th and 8, Canes convert. Nice. Mr. Irrelevant BP. Yeah, he's kids balling, bro. Thank you, Hookah Tube. Robert Salah might be the new Brian Flores. No, don't do that. Robert Salah. I like Robert Salah. And I'm not supposed to say anything positive about the Jets because the Jets are the stinking Jets. But I think they got themselves a good coach there, man. He put himself in a brutal situation with that quarterback. He should have never backed him up, but that might have been coming from the front office and the ownerships or whatever. I don't know. Because they spent all that money and they wanted to try to justify the pick or something. But the dumbest thing they did was stick with Zach Milf-Wilson. That was the dumbest thing because you're basically telling the team, we aren't trying to win. And going to Tim Boyle, my God, when there were so many other options you could have traded for, made moves. Bro, you spent $8.6 million on a running back you didn't need. How stupid is that? How catastrophically stupid is that? Aaron Rodgers has also set them back. And this whole thing that he wants to still come back just to prove that he could come back, go ahead, dude. You're going to come back to blow that Achilles out. And I'm going to be laughing my ass off. Not that I should. By the way, inactives are out for the Miami Dolphins. Here we go. Here we go. One more time. Everybody's feeling fine. Here we go. Yes, here we go. Inactives on the roll. Robbie Chosen, Skylar Thompson, Devon A-Chain, Eli Manzana, Roberto Jones, and Chase Claypool. No surprises. Jones is banged up. Claypool had surgery. A-Chain wasn't playing. Robbie Chosen is super limited. And Eli Apple, you really don't want on the field. Kind of all expected there. When you get the Yetis, please tell me. Speaking of Yetis, I got a nice Yeti cup at the Metallica concert in Montreal. Oh, we got some super chats. Remember, you can make a donation through Cash App or Venmo. You can send your questions, comments, insults, maybe even a compliment. Holy shit. Cash App or Venmo, Cash Big O Show. And, of course, you can send a Bitcoin donation. Remember, once you send a Bitcoin donation, you and I are friends for life now. Because that's just, that shows like that extra love. Because you know how much I love my Bitcoin. True Fin Fan says, I said 26-13 last week. I say 16-3 today, Miami. I like it. Mr. Bonafide 861 says, just landed in Newark and headed to the game now. Let's go Fins. I'm on a cub drinking some coffee. Love it. What a disaster the Rodgers trade was. Yeah. I'm just glad that we're not part of the Deshaun Watson crap, the Aaron Rodgers crap, the Tom Brady crap. Think about it. All of that shit was a disaster. An outright disaster. You would have had Brady for a year, and his ass was punking out last year, did not want to get hit at all. You see, Deshaun Watson never found his mojo. I mean, all of these trades and moves that they talked about would have turned out to be disasters. And instead, they didn't want to listen to the football people that you hired and you put in place. And all you got to do is listen to Greer, listen to Allen, listen to McKenzie, like the real football people, not Bruce Beal and Stephen Ross and Brian Flores and fans and some media members. Okay, no, you had to listen to the real football people. Yes, sir. What you got?
All right, is the mic sound better?
Oh yeah, you don't sound like so you're not a cyborg today. You're
not a cyborg.
Today they fine-tuned your ass, and you don't sound like a cyborg today, huh? Okay.
Jets inactives. Alan Lazard, a healthy scratch, by the way.
Okay.
Mekhi Becton, of course. Offensive lineman Austin DeCulis. Linebacker Sam Egwavon. Defensive lineman Carl Lawson. Cornerback Michael Carter II. And the emergency QB today, Zach Wilson.
The MILF Wilson. I love it. Again, no surprise, Mekhi Becton, and who gives a shit, quite honestly. Who the hell fears Mekhi Becton? I mean, that happened already in the draft. Hey, you saw that guy they drafted? He's like 6'8", 350. Fast forward a couple years later. Yeah, he's a 6'8", 350 guy that can never stay in the lineup and isn't that good. Right. What the hell do I care? And why would I be worried about that? To be quite honest. Anyway, you guys think Black Friday football is here to stay, or it's a one-time thing? Those primetime games are less special when it's on TV every night. Magic Mark, they're here to stay. Do you know why? If they pay, they stay. And Amazon Prime is paying. And again, my brother, you have to understand the power game that's going on. Okay? Just like the American powerhouse investment firms, BlackRock, ARK Investments, got together and they went and said, okay, this whole crypto thing is going to take over. We need to make a power move here. Let's go buy large portions of Coinbase and let's empower an American company in Coinbase. And then let's get this guy here, what is he, CZ from the Philippines or whatever, and let's get his ass out of the picture so we can dominate. It's a power play game. That's what it is here. That's what they're doing. It's a power play game overall. So to me, that's what you got going on in this situation. Nothing more than an absolute power play. These platforms, Apple, YouTube, Prime. Remember what happened now, right? The world used to bank. Well, the world is still banking, but the world will end up going to the blockchain and crypto because that's the way it's going. Well, you used to watch television. You used to turn a knob. You used to go up and change channels on some kind of cable box. You then had your own remote. Then you moved a satellite, a C-band satellite. Then you had TiVo, all that. And now you go where? To platforms. And so all of a sudden, ABC, ESPN, NBC, and Fox, who used to dominate sports, no longer dominate sports. Because now platforms who now want to carry content like Amazon and Apple, they need content to keep people on board. And one of the things we learned, what did we learn in the pandemic? That sports is king. Because while the pandemic was going on, television shows and movies went to crap because they couldn't write, they couldn't create, because they couldn't come together. Sports overcame all of that and said, no, we'll test our people and we'll continue rolling with the entertainment. So sports was unstoppable. Sports doesn't have a writers guild. Sports doesn't have an actors guild. So when you do have actors and writers strikes, then all of a sudden, platforms and television companies all of a sudden lose their programs because they don't have anybody to create them. They have nobody to act in them. But sports continues. So we saw Apple say, we got to get into sports. Messi, soccer, racing, you name it. Amazon's, we got to get into sports. And they've got basketball and football and soccer and all kinds of stuff. And the same thing for YouTube. NFL Ticket, you name it, all of that. It's here to stay, baby. It's here to stay because it's not about you. You don't make this call anymore. Okay? The ones that make the call are the people paying the money. And these whores, the NFL, they're going to sell their product to whatever it takes. It doesn't matter. They don't give a shit that their players only have 4 days to turn around a game that's so physical that they should not be playing, but they don't care because they're collecting a check. They don't care. So whether you like it or not, it's here to stay if Amazon says it's here to stay. That's the reality. And that's part of a power play going on right now. Yes, sir.
No, I wanted to add that with that new technology that they're going to be putting out today with the commercials where you can shop while you watch.
Yes.
I mean, if that doesn't tell you where we're heading.
Right.
I mean, think about it. The commercials are going to be set up to how you watch your Amazon Prime and what you do shopping wise. And then you can just click something, put it in your cart at the end of the Dolphins game, purchase it, and it'll be shipped out.
Yep. Here to stay, baby.
Welcome to Black Friday.
Power play. Yep. It's here. It's here to stay, my man. 28-7 Canes. Really? Nice. Wow. They actually put together a hell of a performance today. Nice. Let's see. 27-13 Fins. Sean heard Pepsi is joining Survivor Series with Viper. Is it true?
I answered them in the chat. They're hinting that's going to be against Shinsuke, but we'll see.
Okay. All right. Big O, is Tua still undefeated versus the Jets? He didn't play against them last year. I don't think so. I don't know what the record was the first couple of years. I'm not sure now. It's a good question. I didn't even think about it. I mean, I really don't care because it's about today. It's about this season. It's about, picking up your 8th win. That's really what it's all about. Let's see. Big O, sorry for being late, but had to help put my mom out Amazon on her TV to get Dolphins game. She was 21 when we first won the Super Bowl. Nice. Good for her. Good for her. Capitalism at its finest. Yes, sir, Rosendo. Yes, sir. Happens every day. Oh, need a prediction. Is it more likely Zach Wilson scores on a MILF or scores a touchdown this season? Oh, God, MILF. Probably had one last night. Now that he isn't playing, yeah. Sports is king, bro. UFC and WWE saved America. Yeah, they didn't stop. Sports was the programming that everybody now wants badly. It became much more valuable. You had a writers and an actors strike here recently, and then you had the pandemic, and sports proved to be king at that moment. Yes, sir, Sean.
StatMuse has Tua 3-0 versus the Jets.
Oh, nice. Okay, there we go. Leon Fresco, thank you for the love on the super chat. He says, Tua starting to remind me of Rick Vaughn in Major League 2 with his Gucci fur coat and Louis Vuitton bag. I will take a 2013 win at this point. Louis Vuitton never made a silk suit. Let's see. I usually don't care how win as long as we win. Could be by 1 point. I'll take it. But against the Jets or Pets, I want to destroy them. We don't want to destroy Pets. Jets, yes, but not Pets. And Black Boy sent in that Tua's 3-0 against the Jets. So did Jermaine. He also had it. Rosendo also had it. Several of you were on your game. Tua's 9-0 against the Patriots and the Jets. Yeah, we got to fix this Bill shit, dude. Like I told you, got to turn this shit around. You know, you got to go like 9-5 in the next 14, 11-3. You know what I'm talking about? I'm talking about some domination here in the next few years. Need to turn it around. I don't want to split even with the Bills. I want to kick their ass. I want to dominate their ass. That's what I want. Okay? That's what needs to happen. Dolphins, by the way, are favored by 9.5 on the Hard Rock app. And in most places, over and under is 40.5. The money line is minus 455 for the Dolphins, plus 350 for the Jets. As you heard, Devon is out, which zero surprise here. Let's get to our 3A Graphics sports calendar here on the pregame show. First of all, of course, I gave you the Dolphins and the Jets. Right now, give you a live scoreboard. The Canes are leading, and it is halftime, 28-7. Halftime, Canes are leading against BC. One hell of a performance so far in the first half. 7:40 tonight, the Heat visit the Knicks. Knicks are favored by 6. The over and under is 212. Heat plus 180. Knicks minus 218. 8:08, State. Give me a little Moses. Panthers are favored by 1.5 against Winnipeg. What I do is I wait and see if maybe Winnipeg scores or something, and then the Panthers become the dog, and then they get 1.5, and then I get on that bandwagon. Panthers minus 135 on the money line. Winnipeg plus 114. Yes, sir, Sean.
I wanted to talk Panthers real quick since you brought them up there. They released Mike Riley. They put him on waivers, and George Richards said, could they be making room for a certain 3-time Cup champion?
Yeah. Yeah, Patrick Kane. I mean, think about it. In a place known for cocaine, why not bring a guy named Patrick Kane? I don't know. I'm trying. I'm reaching there, but I had to do something. Patrick Kane. These owners, Viola and Sifu, I can't say enough about those guys.
If you make him co-captain, he could be cocaine.
Wow. You are on your game. And you're not on cocaine. That's strong. You make him a co-captain, he becomes cocaine. Here's to you, Sean Stanley. That, my friends, that right there, that's the kind of insight you're not going to get anywhere else. So we got that. Winnipeg and Panthers over and under 6.5 goals. Winnipeg plus 114 on the money line, and the Panthers minus 135. And again, Viola Sifu. I love you guys, man. You guys are truly fanatically committed to winning, like Stephen Ross is, and like the Moss brothers are. Those are the 3 ownership groups that are fanatically committed to winning. Okay. Some of you are fanatics, okay? There's only 3 owners that match your fanaticism to trying to win. Those are the 3 owners. Big O Canes finally got some balls and called a better offensive game. Well, yeah, it looks like they're also just punching people in the mouth here today. Let's see. Can't dominate the Bills when Josh Allen dominates our defense. Yeah, that's right. That's kind of been the case. But now you get Ramsey. I think it's going to be a whole different ball game. As I told you, I really believe the Dolphin team is turning a corner now. The balance is there, and we're going to see it now take off. Let me break down a little bit of stuff here and talk a little bit about this matchup and talk about some of the things that we're going to see today in the game and maybe what we should see in this game today. Okay, we got a lot of the injury news. We know what are the characters in, what are the characters out, overall. And there isn't the one thing, listen, I could have brought on somebody that covers the Jets. I know most of the people that cover the Jets, and I could have brought somebody on. I just didn't feel like it because it's kind of a lazy interview because it's too obvious. And it really doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out what has to happen today. And, somebody mentioned it pretty much on the chat board earlier today when I was going through. And it's simple, folks. You saw it in the Giants in the Carolina game. You saw it just a couple weeks ago here. If you want to play shitty and you want to give a shitty team an opportunity to stay in a game, then go ahead what you did last week and fumble the ball and throw interceptions. And that's how you keep a bad Raiders team. I don't care that the Raiders beat the Jets and the Giants. The Jets and the Giants suck. The Jets have an exceptional defense, but their team sucks. You're playing a shitty team today. And the only way all I have to do is I should tell Sean, hey, do me a favor, go grab that piece that I talked about last week, and let's just replay it here and just replace Raiders with Jets. And it's the same shit. The Raiders defense, yeah, it was going to be a challenge. The Jets defense, yeah, it's going to be a challenge. But their offense is no challenge. Zero. And your defense now is the best it's been all year, or maybe for a couple of years now. Because that secondary is going to make that front seven absolutely nasty, and we're watching it happen already before our eyes in the last couple of weeks, where you're watching more and more sacks coming from that area. So to me, this is the most simple and easiest game plan there is. And there is no breaking it down and trying to get too intelligent or anything. Like, take care of the football, dude. Is it going to be easy to score in the Jets? Of course it's not going to be easy to score in the Jets, dude. They've got a heck of a defense. They deserve that respect. I hate the Jets. I can't stand them. I hope they lose the next 4,000 games in a row. And the Bills and the Patriots. I hope they find a way to lose games when they even play each other. Okay, that's how much I can't stand them. But I'm always going to be objective on this show. Jets have a hell of a defense. Not going to be easy to score on them. Not going to be easy to score on the Raiders. Fine. Just don't give it away. Settle for field goals. You get a touchdown. Whatever. Once you take a lead on these kind of teams, Giants, Jets, Raiders, they don't have the quarterback to get back in the game. But if you want to be stupid and you want to miss field goals, you want to quit on the running game at times when it's the obvious play and stay with it. You want to throw interceptions and force it into triple coverage. You want to dive head first and put your body at risk or a fumble, then go ahead and do stupid shit. Do stupid shit and then watch the Carolina Panthers take a 14-0 lead. And then you've got to wake up. But the difference is this is one of the better defenses. So you really don't want to fall behind either and then give them all kinds of life. You want to make sure that by halftime they know they have no shot. Why? Because you're playing physical and you're playing smart. Because it will take a physical disposition today to win this game against that defense. Not a difficult game plan. It's a super easy game plan to manage. Now, you got to go out and execute it. That's never easy in the NFL. Doesn't matter who the opponent is. You can get surprised. But not that difficult to figure out what you got to do today in order to win. Don't forget, if your company wants to be a part of our platform, 786-754-4664. That's 786-754-4664. If you want to reach out to our business line, you want to be a sponsor of one of our insiders. Also, maybe you want us broadcasting from your business to expose your business to thousands of folks that watch the platform, that download the audio links, all of that stuff. Please reach out to our business line, 786-754-4664. It's not to talk sports. It's a pure business line. So if you would like to be a part of our platform and be a sponsor, we would love to have you on board. Please reach out to us, 786-754-4664. David Furones will join us in hour number 2. He'll join us a little bit anytime now, whenever he's ready after the inactives have been out. He's got to do his thing. Then he'll join us in a few minutes here. Post-game, David will be back after he's done in the locker rooms. So will Safadine. We'll also get Manny Navarro to call in post-game to give us a wrap on the Canes and BC. I know it's a Dolphins post-game show, but since the whole thing is kind of weird and we're not back till Monday and I'm off Saturday and Sunday, I ain't doing shit on Saturday and Sunday. The Dolphins will have to make like some big ass news, or the Heat have to make some trade or something. I don't know, for me to, come back. But we will have a short report also from Manny in the post-game show. So we'll get you a little bit of Kane's reaction also in the post-game show. Hour number 2. Also, I want to tell you why this game is so important. There's actually a real big issue in this game. And it's not about the rivalry of the Jets. It's not that it's an AFC East game. It's not that it's an AFC conference game. All those things are important, obviously, and our hatred for the Jets, that feeds into it. It's great. But no. There's actually a much more important reason why this game needs to be played, needs to be experienced for the Miami Dolphins. I'm going to explain that also in hour number 2. I want to get into the matchups. And one of the interesting things about this matchup that some people may not realize whatsoever, and it's kind of an interesting, angle to this matchup. So we'll get to that. A storyline also personally that's kind of rocked the fan base and the team throughout the offseason and into the regular season kind of comes to a head today also. So I want to get into that too. So there's a couple storylines for hour number 2 here on the program. Sean Stanley, the man, the myth, the legend, is the one that drives and masters this entire platform. And we are very grateful. On a weekend of Thanksgiving, I give thanks to having Sean Stanley and being able to work with him, be friends with him, and enjoy growing this platform with him along the way. And we appreciate all the love and support that you give this platform, give Sean and Frankie in their wrestling show, and give ourselves here on all the stuff that we do. So we are very thankful on this weekend. Again, you can send in a Bitcoin, you can send in a donation through Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show, and you can send a Bitcoin donation there, which of course, that's my favorite kind of donation. All right, let's take a quick break. Give me 2 minutes. Hour number 2 is next. When we come back, we'll talk to David Furones. We'll also, I got to tell you why. I think the most important reason why this game needs to be played and experienced, and I don't think, 99.99999% of Dolphin fans probably never thought of this, or writers or anybody else, and I think we'll get to that in hour number 2 of the EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins pregame show.
You're listening to Miami Dolphins coverage on the Sports Talk 305 network. This is the EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins postgame show with Orlando Elzagari.
Oh, I think I know what this is. Houston, we have a package. Hello?
No matter where you are, the Sloman Shield home security system guards your home. With next-gen perimeter protection, 24/7 monitoring, and interior motion sensing. And right now, get a free Sloman Shield security system and doorbell camera, all professionally installed, for free.
Shield your world, the Sloman Shield.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
Viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. Welcome back to the best coverage of Miami Dolphins football on any platform. This is the EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins pregame show on the Sports Talk 305 network. Here's your host, Orlando Elzagari.
We going back to New Jersey. They got rid of that, we ain't worried. Whoever their new QB is, tell them we sacking them early. Just up. Just up. Just up. Just up. Just up. Just up. We going back to New Jersey. Got to it with the do-rag. Defense got a new swag. Take an L, we can't do that. Just up. Just up. Just up. Just up. Just up. Just up. First out the win with the Raiders. Fins been dripping in flavors. They say we can't run with the best, but we can contend with the greatest. Want us to fall, keep waiting. 5-star to keep blazing. Thanksgiving feeling extra thankful. We got all 3 Jaylens. Now we gon' eat up in MetLife. Tell the bookies get their bets right. Sarah Rodgers get his rest right, cause the Jets will crash on the next flight. And we tryna win out the conference, not division, whole AFC. Black Friday, pay the fee. Fins up, we gon' play for keeps. We going back to New Jersey. They got rid of that, we ain't worried. Whoever they new QB is, tell them we sacking them early. Just up. Just up. Just up. Just up. Just up. We going back to New Jersey. Got to it with the do-rag. Defense got a new swag. Take an L, we can't do that. Just up. Just up. Just up. Indeed they do. Just up. Just up.
Indeed they do. Think we worried QB2. Up them fins, hide your kin. I ain't know that Black Friday had the cheapest deal on wins. Don't pretend, on a heater. What's a man to a cheater? Score the rock and cheese, baby, it's Velveeta to your sauce. Who say with it? Mikey Micken, that's the boss. If a boy rules, then promise you won't blame him for the loss. We the division winner and beyond that. How they calling him a jet, huh? When they ain't ready for the combat. Think you really wanna bet, huh? I could really get behind that. Wonder after all the interceptions if Zach had to get a mom's back. Well, I'm back like we going back to New Jersey.
They got rid of that, we ain't worried. Whoever they new QB is, tell them we sacking them early. Just up. Just up. Just up. Just up. Just up. Just up. We going back to New Jersey. Got to it with the do-rag. Defense got a new swag. Take an L, we can't do that. Just up. Just up. Just up. Just up. Just up. Just up.
Just up. Just up. Just up. Just up. Just up. Just up.
Who fires? Touchdown! You know what the Jets are thinking? He's going to take the ball and throw it into the ground. They stopped. They all stopped. If you
Oh, the spike play. I love it. I love it. I love it. Solo D. Solo D. We always start off hour number 2 with a little solo D. Although the do-rag stuff, see, he didn't know that Tua shed the do-rag, shed the cornrows, no more cornrows. I actually think he looks better without the cornrows. He looks better with a haircut than he does cornrows. Don't think he's the cornrow look guy. That's just me. I think he looks better with a hairdo than he does with the cornrows. Some guys can style the cornrows and look good, you know, UD and all that. Some guys look really good with it. I don't think it was to his look. That's just me. But hey, man. The only one he's got to make happy is the lady at home. If she likes it, then you're good. And if she doesn't, well, you know, you got some issues. Consider this. O'Connell is a much better QB than Boyle. Boyle failed as an FCS QB in Eastern Kentucky TD. 1 TD in 3 years. No, Boyle is terrible, bro. I watched him with Detroit. He is bad. Okay? Miami should intercept his sorry ass at least twice, and they should be all over him. Okay? Tom Stockel says the worst New York Jets fans I recall were at Monday night games in the Orange Bowl, all liquored up with lots of verbal and physical abuse. Yep. What's up there, Sean?
David's ready. I don't know if you're on the screen or not. I didn't know if you see him.
I'm sorry. Here we go. Let's go. Let's get to our Welt and Rayom Miami Dolphins report with the one and only David Furones.
All rise, football fans, as the Welt and Rayom Miami Dolphins report with David Furones is in session.
Welton Rayom has more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes. They are committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. Here's Miami Dolphins insider David Furones.
All right. There he is. How you feeling, my man? You feeling good?
Doing well. Got in late last night to the city. Enjoyed the views. Got a view of the Empire State Building from my hotel in the city, and then the ride over to East Rutherford, New Jersey. Always a a nice one when you see the Manhattan skyline when you come across to Jersey.
There you go. Okay, got a little better there. You kind of faded a little bit there. Inactives, dude. All this breaking news and stuff. Chan, there was no way he was playing, dude. He was out for a month, and he couldn't even last a couple of plays in the game. You think you're going to bring him back against a brutal defense like this? Like I had no doubts that he was never going to play this.
Yeah, and it's the right call. I mean, it's you got to feel optimistic that he was even able to go through a limited practice after that. Obviously, you think the worst one very early in a return from a 4-week absence and IR stint that 3 touches in, he is out again and it doesn't return. So he was vying to get back into that game, although Mike McDaniel made the right call to just protect him from himself. A game that the Dolphins should have still won, and they did indeed still win, although carried by the defense. So you give him this week, and then he'll get an even longer week now from this game. You get the mini bye, sort of. I know you usually say that about a Thursday night game. This is Black Friday, but still, you get the weekend, and then it's more than 7 days. What is it, 9 days before the next game at Washington?
Yeah, no, definitely. And again, winnable game. And listen, one of the things that I've said throughout the week, but today, dude, the strategy today is super easy. Just don't turn over the ball. Just don't do stupid things. That's all. If you stay away from stupid things and you don't turn over the ball, you will easily win this game. Will it be easy to score in the Jets defense? Of course not. But the Jets offense has no business scoring on you. So don't give them short fields. Don't give them turnovers. Don't give up on the run. Just, do common, normal things, and you won't get into a hole with Carolina. You won't allow the Raiders to stay in the game. That's the only reason these shitty teams have been in games, because Miami fuels that fire every single time against these kind of teams.
Yeah, you took exactly what I was going to say. That's the only reason the Raiders last week, where I was going to go back to Carolina, but the Raiders last week, that's the only reason they were still in the game. Turnovers unnecessarily, especially when they're deep in your own territory a couple times with Tua, his fumble, the Julian Hill fumble. I mean, those are just automatic points.
Field position battle was terrible. Using it all the time.
Yeah, where then all you do is really have just one bad defensive play, which is the Devontae Adams touchdown over the top, and then you're not scoring, you're turning the ball over, it ends up being a tight game against a team like the Raiders. So the Jets have an even better defense than the Raiders, although they are vulnerable on the ground. So Raheem Mostert and Jeff Wilson can get it going that way. Opportunities for the Dolphins to win time of possession and play a safer brand of football that way to take a lead and hold on to it. But obviously that's the biggest key. That's what they honed in on. That's what Tua was harping on ever since the minute he was post-game last week. Melanie Collins on the sideline right after the game. She asked him a question about the shuffling offensive line, and then his mind was still on the turnover. He was like, it starts with me. I cannot turn the ball over. My colleague Chris Perkins asked him a question about the run game, and then he started talking about the turnovers. It was just so heavy on his mind, where every answer is just what he wanted to get off his chest. So he knows it, and the Dolphins also have to be better in short yardage situations. Those third downs, third and shorts, third and 3, and less than that. Then converting those, that's a huge key, so that you keep drives going, and then you don't get into the third and longs, and then you don't turn the ball over. Those will be some of the keys to just making sure you do what you're supposed to do against the Jets.
Dude, I love that he was hard on himself, because I was hard. I'm hard on him now about this, because lately he's turning it over too much, and maybe he's getting a little cocky, a little confident, like that throw that I pointed out last week that he forces to Waddle in between 3 guys. And dude, just to your left, there's the guy all by himself. You can't do that. You got. I get it. He's supremely confident, which is a beautiful thing, by the way, because there's a lot of quarterbacks that are scared to put it in tight windows. He is fearless of that, which is part of being a great quarterback. Is that you have to be fearless, and you must be willing to put it in windows that are really tight, because that's the NFL. But lately, he's been forcing it. And then that turnover was dumb because you dove. You got to slide, bro. You've been doing a great job of taking care of your body. I love that he was hard on himself because that's a dude being honest. That, the reason why they were in the game is because, dude, you're effing around right now and you're not doing what you're supposed to do. And I'm glad that Tua took it that way. He should.
Yeah, and obviously there's a fine line. I mean, because we're seeing such elite play from Tua, aside from those turnovers. So yeah, there's a way that he's processing things where he understands some of the risks he is able to take, but then there is that fine line between that one was a little bit too risky, and then or just the decision was off. He tried to squeeze into one lane that he thought he could get into when he had a wide open guy. So yeah, that comes with the confidence of when you are playing well, maybe this feeling of invincibility that, well, I'm just going at such a high rate where I know my throws are working, and then you have to kind of be able to decipher, that's not the throw I should make, where maybe when you do have a turnover, that's when you start being a little more conscious of it. So maybe just finding the balance of playing with the confidence, but also being conscious of the throws that he can't fit in there, regardless of how confident he is.
Do you think because nobody's going to talk about that publicly with any of you guys, and you're going to write it down. Oh, this player said, all we got to do is play smart and we'll take care of these clowns. They're not going to tell you. But how aware are they that if you just play responsible football, you might make life easy on yourself? You know what I'm saying? I'm just wondering, they're not going to physically tell you that against an opponent, but in general, do you hear that from them? Because, I would hope that brother, you stay away from turnovers. It's amazing how many games. The year with the Chad Pennington and the Wildcat and all that those offenses sucked, bro. They barely could score, and they had good defense. But the key was Chad Pennington did not turn over the ball. He barely ever had turnovers, and
except the playoff game against the Ravens. Then it just completely went off. Yeah,
because then at that point he was overmatched at that point, and so it was over at that point. But to get you to that point, he was magnificent in staying away from turnovers. And it is a beautiful thing in this league, brother. If you stay away from turnovers, you're going to have a chance to win. Freaking 85% of your games.
To piggyback on your point early in that answer, I think it goes back to two things that you often hear from players. Is one is always the respect of the opponent, like you mentioned. Like they'll never say, "Oh, yeah, I mean, we should handle them," but they're always going to say, "Yeah, they're NFL players too," on the other side, etc. But then the other part that you always hear, which contrast it is, they often always say, it's what we did, the self-inflicted wounds have to stop, and really it's nothing that the defense did, we cannot do that. So yeah, there is sort of a balance between the two ideas, and yeah, both of them are kind of in the mindset here of for this game specifically. This is a good example of it. Exactly.
One of the things we talked about on our show throughout the training camp and leading into the regular season is I predicted that they would keep Brooks. He was one of the guys that I thought they would hold the spot for. And at that time, there were still guys that were in for blocks, and would they do this or that? And will they keep him long term? And I said, yeah, they're going to keep 5 because they're going to hold him. So now with all the injuries, all the injuries, I mean, it's a guarantee, isn't it? That Brooks will be one of the IR guys to come back, solely because you need 5 backs. It's been proven over and over again. Look, today you're going in, you've got banged up guys, and you're down to 3. And you've got the Arrington kid was activated and everything. It shows you where you're at in this league, and especially the Dolphins. Well, you need at least 5 backs.
Yeah. So they are at 6 of the 8 that they can use off of the IR or NFI, and then so now it becomes more likely, really, that you end up using one of those last 2 on Brooks. So now the key being Savon Ahmed, as whatever you want to say about his play, that now he's on IR. So that's depth and also a special teams player that the Dolphins will be missing out on. So now at this point, when you don't have Achane, then it's Mostert and Wilson, and then you have to call up the Darrington Evans off the practice squad. So that's one of your elevations that you can use there. And then if down the road, which McDaniel has said, that Chris Brooks is in consideration for one of those designations to return, then that would seem like a spot, especially since you're probably going to end up with another injury at running back. It's just the nature of the position. So as guys are in and out, then yeah, I mean, Chris Brooks might be one of those last two. And then if Isaiah Wynn is able to come back, which it seems difficult at this point, McDaniel did say he has a long road to come back, but then he could be the other one. But then you end up just kind of getting close to the end anyway, where once you put a guy on IR, then it's not that big of a window where he's going to be out the 4 weeks and then he's still able to return anyway. Right. So you end up just losing that spot.
We're getting to a point now where you have to decide you keep him on the active roster injured,
right,
or you put him on, or he's done for the year. And that's going to become the next option. You're already doing it with a couple guys now that they're injured, but you're not putting them on the IR anymore. You're holding them out and keeping an active roster. Now, listen, Tanner Connor, you did that last year with him. You held an entire roster spot for no reason at all. Really never turned the corner, you know. And I know other teams wanted him and all that kind of stuff. So I know they were protecting, but you can kind of work right now. It's not so bad of a thing. It'll get worse if it's a major injury. Then it becomes a real problem.
Yeah. You're getting close to that point. Yeah, no, go ahead.
No, go ahead. We're great.
No, I was just going to back up exactly what you said. Yeah, you're getting close to that point where now, if a guy is able to return, even if you know it'll be a month, but he can make the return by the late weeks of the regular season or the postseason, then, you just keep him on, and then he's just DNP on the practice report. And then if a guy won't make it back, then that's when you use your IR designations.
Well, before I get a prediction from you, is the spread any good over there for the Jets and Giants stadium? What's the deal?
So I had like a late breakfast to get over, so I haven't hit it up yet. But I'll go over momentarily. I can report back to you via text, and then if you want to fill in your listeners, then we can.
Tell us post game to tell us how's.
Oh yeah, I'm back on post game anyway, so yeah, we can do it then. We'll run it back.
We'll get a recap. All right, so what's the prediction? What happened today?
Okay, I put in the Sun Sentinel a very low scoring game. I have it, but I do have the Dolphins covering 17-6. Is what I have. So it ends up looking a little bit maybe like it did just a few days ago against the Raiders, but the defense holds up, doesn't give up the big play like you saw against Devontae Adams, and then maybe they cut down on some turnovers as well and win some time of possession running the ball. So 17-6 I have, a little bit of an ugly one.
Okay, one question, because I'm going to bring it up here. I'm going to talk a little bit about it. There's a guy that plays for the Miami Dolphins, Christian Wilkins. He wanted a new contract, and he wanted Quinnen Williams money. Well, through 10 games, Quinnen Williams has 38 tackles to Wilkins 21, 23 solos to 19. Quinnen Williams has 2 sacks, and Wilkins has 4.5. Wilkins has double. Quinnen Williams has a fumble. Wilkins has 1. So is Miami getting the bargain, and the Jets are overpaying this season? Is that how it goes?
It's looking like it. And remember, Quinnen Williams is just coming off a monster year last year. So sometimes you see where the motivation level of it. And Christian Wilkins is a guy who says he's going to be motivated regardless. He's self-motivated. It's not over the contract. But, hey, it's got to be in the back of his head that what he had to do was add a pass rush to his game because he was elite in the other aspects of his position, setting record-setting numbers with his tackles and then the tackles for loss too, etc. the run game, the combination of him and Zach Sealer, so elite. But he needed to add the pass rush, and I think the Vic Fangio defense is good for him in that regard because it's not always all these blitzes where then quarterbacks have to get the ball out quickly. It's keying in on that four-man pass rush up front. He's got to be one of those guys, and he provides it from the interior while Bradley Chubb and Jalen Phillips are doing it off the edge. And so you're seeing that career year bringing the pressure, and it's also, I think, a motivational factor for him. It's got to be in the back of his head, although he's going to be the same guy. But he's showing it. He knew he needed to add that to his game, and he's doing it.
Follow him on Twitter at David Furones _ catch his work at the South Florida Sentinel. David, as always, thank you, my brother. We'll catch up for the post-game show.
Yes, sir. See you in a few hours.
Got it. And Welton Rayom, man, I got to tell you, Jeff and Dan are amazing. Offices in Hollywood. They also have an office in the Keys, by the way. Okay, so whether you live in South Florida, the Keys, one of our listeners that lives in Orlando hired Welton Rayom. Bankruptcy, homeowner claims, condo damage, criminal defense, business owner claims, commercial litigation, personal injury. Call Jeff or Dan. Maybe you're not sure if you have a case or not. Some water damage, an accident, something happened, a bankruptcy issue. You're not exactly sure. Well, the consultation is completely free. So calling them at 954-966-4646 is not an issue. Ask for Jeff Welt and then explain to him your situation, and then he's going to tell you have a case or you don't have a case, and then you can move forward. Please call him 954-966-4646 for Welt and Rayom.
This has been another session of the Welton Rayom Miami Dolphins Report with David Furones. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. They handle complex personal injury claims caused by the fault of another in both state and federal courts. They handle auto, trucking, motorcycle slip and fall, and bicycle accidents. Call 954-966-4646. Welton Rayom can help.
Right. By the way, it's 28-14 now. The U does have the ball on the BC 35, so we'll see if they can continue to add a little points there. Victor Huertas, thank you for the love in the super chat, sir. Big O, why do we always wear white on white? Don't know, bro. I don't really know the rhyme or reason for any of that. Yes, sir, Sean.
Parrish was down with a knee injury. That's all I was going to try to get you when you're talking Canes.
Damn it. Poor kid. All right. Big O, who's carrying the rushing load today? I would imagine Mostert's the main guy, but, use Jeff Wilson to complement, So, yeah, I would imagine that Mostert is the man today. That would be the case. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. Let me make sure. By the way, Steve sent one yesterday. He says, last week you said Herbert lost to a bad Packers team, looking pretty good today, playing an 8-2 Lions team. Tua couldn't beat the Packers. I'm watching right now. Well, Tua was concussed. Hateful Steve. Okay, and yesterday, the sun shines on every dog's ass every once in a while. That's how it goes. All right, so I told you that this game is more important than what people think. All right? And the obvious is, well, yeah, dude, it's the Jets. We hate the Jets. Come on, everybody knows it's important. We got to beat the stinking Jets. Obvious that they've got to beat the stinking Jets. That's not the reason why. Well, hey, it's an AFC East game. Of course it's a big game. We gotta win this. Are you kidding me? Yeah, of course. It's a great point. We hate the Jets. AFC East game, great points. Well, hey, it's an AFC game, period. It's a conference game, just like the Chargers game. It's important. Yes, it is. It's also important. Very good. All of those points are legitimate. All of those points are reasons why this game is incredibly important. But there's a bigger reason why it's more important. And it's more important to the Dolphins. The Jets don't matter at all. Okay? The Jets are a piece of turd that is stuck under your shoe, and you're like on the corner of the sidewalk, like trying to like get out that piece of turd, or you're like, look at it. You're like, it's a shoe. That's what the Jets are. Okay? They mean nothing in this picture. I'm serious about this. Okay? Nothing personal or anything, but this has everything to do with the Miami Dolphins. The Miami Dolphins have a Super Bowl caliber team right now. Their defense is coming together now at this point, and they've got the balance, and they've got one of the best offenses out there. And I know they've got a couple of guys banged up on the offensive line, but they're still good enough to win this game and win more games and play well and beat the Jets and beat Washington next week and continue this roll. They're more than good enough to win these games. Okay? You need to go out there, but this is the best part about all of this. This is why the 2 games against the Jets are incredibly important exhibition regular season games that can bite you in the ass, but they are kind of exhibition type games. What do I mean by that? What are you talking about? Oh, this is the regular season. What are you talking about, dude? I'm looking at it right here. The Dolphins say 7-3. This is week 12. What are you talking about exhibition? Well, this is what I mean. The Jets are kind of that JV team that's preparing you for the playoffs. Because what has been the bugaboo for Miami now? The Bills, the Eagles, right? And who am I missing? Who was the third good team they lost to? Eagles, Bills, and Chiefs. That's right. So they all possess good defenses, right? Just like the Jets. And they all possess good offenses. But what has been your struggle more than anything has been your offenses having trouble against these kind of defenses. So you get a nice, again, exhibition type games over the next 2 against the Jets because they're going to give you playoff defense. And this offense kind of needs to face a couple of playoff defense. Now, like I said, this is an exhibition that can bite you in the ass. Because if you want to throw interceptions, you're going to get bit in the ass. You want to fumble the ball, you're going to get bit in the ass. You want to give up on the run when you're having success, you're going to get bit in the ass. Now, should you? No. You should win these games. But the good thing is that the Jets are going to give you playoff defense in the 2 games you're going to face them. And this offense actually needs it. This is a really good game for Miami because of their offense. The defense should not be challenged at all. Tim Boyle should not be an issue. The only reason Tim Boyle's an issue is if Tua wants to fumble the ball at the 20 and give them a short field. If Tua wants to throw an interception. If Tyreek or Waddle don't hold on to a ball that ricochets off their fingers and the Jets catch it at the 10-yard line. That's how you give Tim Boyle and those idiots life. By giving him a short field, by giving him a pick 6, whatever, any kind of stupidity like that. That's the only reason that offense will give you any kind of trouble. And it's really not giving them trouble. It's just that the offense is giving the defense trouble because the offense is putting the defense in a terrible position with turnovers. So the beauty of this game, this exhibition-like regular season game is, that can bite you in the ass, is the defense that the Jets are going to bring. And it's super important to prepare Miami for the playoffs because this is the kind of defenses you will face in the playoffs. This is why Lamar Jackson goes nowhere. Because once you get to the playoffs, the elite defenses are there, and that Mickey Mouse offense just does not work in the playoffs because you need to be an accurate and consistent passer, something he's never been in his entire life. It's kind of the way it goes. But Miami has struggled against elite teams. And those elite teams have brought an elite defense. And that elite defense has stifled this elite offense. But this elite offense cannot be really an elite offense until it starts having success against elite defenses. So the next two New York Jets games are terrific in an exhibition manner because those legitimate defenses of the New York Jets, and they have a legitimate defense, will challenge the Miami Dolphins. And Miami needs this work before the playoffs. Now, don't play stupid football. That's the only thing I say. Now, here's the thing. Let's get into it a little bit, which is kind of interesting. Okay, you're going to attack the Jets defense. Just out of curiosity, so Sean, you know they got a hell of a secondary, right? How many interceptions do you think Sauce Gardner and DJ Reed already have this season?
I'll go between the two of them, right?
Yes, between the two of them.
6, 7? No.
Interesting. Now, that doesn't mean they're bad. Means they're really good. Means that actually, you're not trying them nearly as much. Okay? Pass defenses, Sauce is second on the team with 7. Okay? So, you know who has all the interceptions? The safeties. Whitehead, here we go on interceptions. Let me, where am I at here on interceptions? Jordan Whitehead, who's a good player, has 4 interceptions. Ashton Davis, another safety of theirs, has 2 interceptions. Pass defenses, Whitehead has 9, Sauce has 7, Davis has 3. So DJ Reed doesn't even have a lot of pass defenses and has no interceptions. Sauce Gardner has been tested, but has no interceptions. It's interesting. It's the safeties that have been tested, and the safeties are the ones that are coming up with the turnovers. So it'll be interesting to see how McDaniel attacks it because you have elite receivers. So do you attack the elite corners or do you move them around? And will they move Sauce around with Tyreek, or will they keep Sauce on one side, Reed on the other, and let Tyreek end up with the nickel corner or the dime at times? That'll be interesting to see how they end up running their defense with those guys. Will they have Reed and Sauce chasing those two guys around specifically, or because they're both so good, they can stay on each side like Miami, and whoever lines up on whatever side, then that's who you handle at that moment. That's kind of the way Miami does it. So it'll be interesting to see how they're going to do that, if there's any adjustments in that. The sacks are led by Jermaine Johnson, the linebacker from FSU, the Memphis linebacker Bryce Huff, who both guys have 5 apiece. Quinnen Jefferson, not Williams, Jefferson has 4.5, the defensive tackle, and then Quinnen Williams has 2. Okay. And it's interesting because when you look at the overall numbers, the Jets are better than Miami defensively, but I think Miami's defense is going to start to catch up with the Jets. Now that you've got Ramsey, the interceptions will go up, the secondary numbers are going to start improving, and then your defensive numbers on the line, the sacks, will get better because you've got a better secondary now. But it's interesting. In tackles for losses, the Jets outnumber Miami 61-49, so by 12. Forced fumbles, Jets advantage 12-8. Sacks, Miami has more sacks than the Jets, 31-26. Interceptions, 10-7. Remember, I told you they don't have a ton of interceptions. 10-7, I think those numbers will start going up on the Miami end because of Jalen Ramsey, who has 3 in 3 games alone. Fumbles recovered, 6-5, edge the Jets. So the Jets are better, but not by monster numbers. Okay? And I think that when you start to look at this defense for the Dolphins moving forward, I expect these numbers to grow, and I expect the gap between the Jets and Miami to get smaller to the point that, who knows, we'll see. But I am one of the people that is telling you the last 2 weeks, the Dolphin defense has turned the corner. They have turned the corner. That Kansas City game, that was a watershed moment for the Miami Dolphins team because of the defense. Because Jalen Ramsey brought a balance to that defense now that you're going to be able to pressure quarterbacks and cover your receivers at the same time. And Fangio, because of those 2 corners, will be able to play with the rest of that defense and do different things that he couldn't do before because he didn't have 2 island corners like he has now. That's why I'm telling you, as I bring the conversation full circle, the defense of the Jets is very important for the Miami offense today. It's very important for the next 2 games against the Jets. Sure, you can lose them. You shouldn't. But it's very important because the Dolphin offense needs this work. That's the last hurdle, I feel. If the Dolphins offense figures out how to be more physical in these kind of moments like today, this sets them up even better for the playoffs. This ain't about the Jets, dude. The Jets don't matter a damn bit here. They have their own problems. They're dealing with their own circus and their own bullshit with Aaron Rodgers and all that crap. The Miami Dolphins, the window is now. Okay? This is why I was pissed with the Buffalo game, because that's not what this team's talent is. And McDaniel needs to get more out of this team. And guess what? I'll be consistent as a mofo. Last year I told you over and 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 over again that the defensive coordinator didn't cost you a game. He didn't. When you lost games last year, had to do with the offense, had to do with Mike McDaniel, had to do with mistakes being made, had to do with injuries and all kinds of stuff. But the defense, injury riddled and all, kept you in all the games pretty much. The only one was the Jets game, but that was a disaster from the beginning because you lost a quarterback and there was no way they were going to ever be in sync in that game, whatever. But overall, that guy never cost you a game. You may not like him or whatever, but it was the offense that cost you most of your games. And guess what's happening now? That's why this test against these Jets defenses are so important, because the Dolphins offense needs this work badly. And today's a beautiful day to get some work in and hopefully show some improvement, because if you can play good offense against this defense, you're gonna see such you don't know how happy I'm going to be in the postgame show. I don't care about the defense. They're not supposed to struggle against this offense. You're supposed to dominate them. If you pick up some interceptions and a bunch of sacks and you thoroughly embarrass them, I'm going to be happy, but I'm not going to be impressed at all with the Dolphins defense. They're supposed to do that. I need to see the Dolphin offense respond against these kind of defenses. Because then the next time you face the Bills in the playoffs, if they make the playoffs, the next time you face Kansas City in the playoffs, or the Bengals, or the Eagles in the playoffs, I'm going to feel better that you went up against the Jets defenses twice and played well. The Baltimore Ravens defense that's coming up, they've got a really strong defense. The Dallas Cowboys. I'm not afraid of the teams because I'm not really afraid of their offenses and their quarterbacks at times in pressure situations, but their defenses will be the test for Miami's offense. And so they will have several opportunities to fine-tune themselves for the playoffs. If Washington wouldn't have traded their pass rushers, that would have been actually a nice test in 2 weeks. But the fact that they don't have the pass rushers anymore, that kind of hurts what they were as a defense, because they were much better as a defense with all of that. Angel Resto. Thank you, sir. Big O telling the truth. True Fin Fan says, I'd be shocked if Miami doesn't turn the ball over against the Jets defense. They have an elite defense, but a middle school for the performing arts offense. Yes. Let's see. Hear me out, Big O, says Marcus Shabbat. Happy Thanksgiving to you and yours. Sad that Stewie, Zach Wilson, will not get the Malachi Crunch by Chubbs and Phillips. Well, he is the emergency quarterback, so they could take out Doyle and then get to Zach, and so let's hold out hope. We need to throw to our running backs today. Yep, you can run on the Dolphins. The Jets do not have a weakness on defense. You can run on the Jets a little bit. Never been easier to go to the Super Bowl. It's a fine mess. It's up. If Finns mess it up, they won't go to the Super Bowl for the next 20 years. Nah, that's not true. We got a nice window for the next 2 more years, I think, and maybe even more, depending on how well they draft, which I expect them to draft well. I'm not going into that negativity, bro. I get it. You guys are all, some of you are killed from the past. This isn't the past anymore, man. They got a real front office that knows how to turn over talent and find it. They know how to draft. They know how to draft late. They can find guys. They can find undrafted guys. They're going to be able to find guys that will keep them afloat because they will be cheap for the first couple of years. And that's where some of you out there with the negativity, you're not going to get me to ride on that one. You're just not. Sorry. I think this is a really good franchise now, an exceptional franchise now. And they just need to kind of finish putting everything together on the field and but the ownership will spend. The front office knows what the hell they're doing now. And they're being left alone finally. We have what I think is one of the best offensive minds in the business. We got a great defensive coordinator. The special teams coach is not very good. That I will say is a weakness, overall. I think the talent is more than good enough to win the Super Bowl. They just got to put it together now. It's a matter of believing in themselves and putting it together. That's why I'm excited for the offense today, because it's a really good test. And if they can have success, I'm going to be so happy. They need to do basically what the Bills did to the Jets last week, where they dominated them. And if you could do this early, you'll take the Jets, you'll rip their heart out. That defense is already at the point where they're already like tired of the offense. All you need to do is take a 14-point lead on them and just thoroughly shut down the offense, and the defense will give up, because it's only human nature. You just can't keep running your head into a wall. And that's what defense. Listen, you and I know what it feels like to be a Jets fan right now. We've had plenty of our Dolphins teams in the last 25 years that couldn't score with a fistful of dollars in a whorehouse, and it was the defense. And it's Jason Taylor and company, or Cam Wake and company, or whatever era of Dolphin defense carrying the team week in and week out because the offense can't score. We've lived that. That gets old, and it gets old on a consistent basis. And that's why the challenges for the offense today, it's freaking awesome. Awesome. And I hope they pass the test. No doubt says, fins up, boys. Today we will beat the Jets Black and Blue Friday. J Miami Sports, this one is on the offense for sure. It's up to MC, Tua, and the receivers to step up. Can't argue with any, and the O-line, of course. The O-line's got to step up too. Some of the other teams with huge QB contracts will lose talent as well. Yep. Cincinnati is going to have trouble. They're not going to be able to pay everybody, and they got a cheap owner as it is. We don't have a cheap owner. That's the beauty. Hope we can establish the run and eliminate the turnovers this week. No more stupid picks from Tua, please. Pretty much that's a perfect recipe for winning right there. Stay away from the stupid turnovers, establish the run, and you're golden today, dude. You're absolutely golden. What's going on in the Canes game? 35-14? How about that? After cutting it to 14, they extended it back to 21. Look at that. Post-game, we will have Safadine and David Furones joining us here on the program. All right? So make sure you join us. And by the way, BaptistHealth.net/ortho, a proud sponsor of our program and our platform. Baptist Health is the official sports medicine provider for the Miami Heat, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, FIU, FAU, Orange Bowl, Miami-Dade County Public Schools, Miami Open Tennis, Miami Marathon and half marathons, amongst others. And, of course, Baptist Health has a new hospital right there at Hard Rock Stadium, which you can visit it if you live in nearby. And remember, we've got hospitals all the way down the Key, Marathon, Tavernier Key, all the way up to Palm Beach and Boynton Beach, Bethesda, East and West, 2 different locations. Check it out there, folks. And, of course, you've got Doctors Hospital in Coral Gables. You've got the main hospital in Doral that I have visited several times. I was there with my wife recently because she had bleeding ulcers. So, the Alzigari family counts on Baptist Health a lot. Thank you, Baptist Health, for taking care of the Alzigari family so well. God, they do such a fantastic job. I'm telling you, everything. Even the colonoscopy that I had about 6-9 months ago, which was just, I was an idiot thinking that was like a really embarrassing, and it wasn't. It was done so professionally, and I was like, wow. And so don't wait long for that, folks. I was an idiot. I waited till I was 56 years old to do it. If you're in your late 40s already to 50, you should already be doing your first colonoscopy. So don't wait, because you just never know. I got lucky and nothing. I was clear and clean and everything, all good, but don't wait, folks. Please call the people at Baptist Health. They do an amazing job. We have one of the youngest teams in the league. You're 100% correct, though. Plus, we have a great front office, dude. A great front office. It's not just Chris Greer. Marvin Allen and Reggie McKenzie are freaking awesome. The Raiders are a clown show because you fired Reggie McKenzie and you didn't leave him there doing what he was doing, and he was leading them in the right direction. And look at the clown show that they are. So I hope that I kind of like this guy here. What's his name? A former Giant. And I know he grew up as a Raiders fan, but I kind of like his demeanor, and if he can build a staff and all that. Antonio Pierce. I like him, man. He kind of has that kind of Raider swag, but he's going to have to prove that he can coach and build a staff. But they had the right guy there in Reggie McKenzie, and they got rid of him, and he easily could have continued to build that. And now we have him, and I'm glad. And if you want to let go Marvin Allen, Chris Greer is so smart. That's why I laughed at the people that would pick on him, because you just don't really understand this business. And when I saw him that he brought in Allen and McKenzie, 2 guys I'm well aware of and know their history, I'm like, this is stupid. This is just ridiculous. Are you kidding me? this trio is going to be the one leading the Dolphins, we're going to be Super Bowl champs in no time. That's what I said to myself. I've followed this personnel thing. I know a lot of the good ones, and I know which ones are the bad ones. And we got 3 exceptional ones, man. You know, the worst part about it is when they win the Super Bowl, they will steal one of those guys from us. That will be the worst part. That's when I'll be pissed, when they steal one of our guys. DJ says, thanks for all the Fins inside all week. Headed to the TV now, Fins up. And you know what, DJ? I'm headed to the TV too. So let's thank David Furones. We will catch up with David again with our Welton Rayom Miami Dolphins post-game report. Safed Dean from USA Today will also join us for the post-game show. We'll talk to Manny Navarro. We'll get his thoughts on the rout of the Boston College Eagles by the Hurricanes, which is really nice, 35-14 right now. Yes, sir, Sean. Oh, the MetLife takeover.
Miami has the Dolphins, the greatest football team. And when you say Miami, you're talking Super Bowl. Yes, we're the J-E-T-S.
That is phenomenal, dude. That is awesome. So proud of our Dolphin Nation and how they travel, how they represent. I'm telling you, I'm dying to broadcast live from that. It's just the internet stuff would be impossible. But I'll do anything to do something like that at the MetLife takeover. That is, I got to be a part of that one day. Maybe we don't do the broadcast. Maybe we do a really early broadcast and then go to the MetLife. What do you think about that, Sean? Maybe we do like a special early breakfast broadcast somewhere in New York, and we have Dolphins meet us there. We all have breakfast, and then we shoot over for the pregame MetLife takeover thing.
I saw some of the X stuff this morning, and it looks like they meet at Slattery's. So maybe we do the broadcast there, and then the bus picks up from Slattery's. It looked like, because they had the buses there, and everybody was lined up down the streets.
Oh, dude, yes. That's exactly what we need to do. We need to, although we have to fix the whole internet thing, we need a hard line at Slattery's. So we have to, because remember we did like wireless last time.
We had a dedicated line because we had a line, but it was with everybody else, and there's so many people there that.
Yeah. I think we nailed it. I think that's what we have to do next year. Do a breakfast pregame at Slattery's with everybody, and then we all go over to MetLife, and then we enjoy the MetLife take. Fuck yeah. That's how we're going to do it next year. Yes, for sure. Yeah, man. Yeah, and you know what? I'll talk to Sloman's. We'll broadcast on Friday from Sloman's. That's all. So Friday we broadcast from Sloman's, and then Sunday we broadcast from Slattery's morning, and then we go to the MetLife takeover. That's how we're going to do it next year. I like it. I'll talk to Zach and company over at Sloman's, and we'll get it done. We'll get that done. That'll be cool. All right, we thank David Furones. We thank, of course, Sean Stanley. We thank all of you out there. Thank you for tuning in, sending in a question. Please smash the hell out of the like button. It's very important that you smash the like button. We'll see you for the post-game show. Again, if you sent in a super chat, Cash App, or Venmo, Cash Big O Show, thank you all out there. Dolphins will get it done today. 23-6. Dolphins win. See you post-game. Fins up.
This has been the EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins pregame show on the Sports Talk 305 network. The show is mastered by Sean Stanley and Chad Shobe. From home to kitchen to bathroom additions and remodelings, get in contact with one of the best contractors in the business. Call Eric at EJDconstruction.com, 305-433-4843. Please subscribe to our platform by searching Big O Radio Show on all digital avenues. We'll be back with a complete wrap-up of the game once the last second ticks off the clock. Thank you for your support and enjoy Dolphins football.